Today we're doing a test. My wife is manning the video camera and she's demanding that we do a test because we're going to try to show someone or everybody out in YouTube land how to use the ground control. For today I'm using my Marshall JBM. This is a 100 watt 410H, and I normally don't use too much, but today I'm also using my Rockchan expression, subtle effects, and we're going to go over some stuff with it. So a lot of you may have already know how to program these. You know, where you have your channels, your clean channel, which in this case I'm using my 4 channels, but I'm using the simplified. As you can see, they'll change channels. So go from one to the other. Go to my other ones. And I go to my other channel. Kind of like a AC/DC is kind of a bluish tone. I go to so you got all 4 of my channels, clean, crunch. Now each one of them has 3 channels each, so it's actually like a 12-channel amp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I'm usually only using these anyway. This is based on how we're going to program this little deal. So how we can get all this. Maybe most of you may already know how to use it. You can check this out on YouTube and how to program these. It's very straightforward. But we're going to concentrate on how to be able to change the parameters in between here. So say for example I'm going to be using my rhythm channel. It's my favorite channel. Now how am I going to, what I'm going to show you is you can, on each one of your channels, you'll be able to turn on, you have this 4 bank. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you use this one, and then you use these ones to turn on the individual effects inside of your rack processors. Every rack processor would be a little bit different. This one's no different. They all have continuous controllers. In other words, you can turn on individual effects. So for example, for my rhythm channel, if I want to turn on a phaser, I have it real subtle. You can hear there's a little bit of delay. I can add some on the same channel, and it doesn't affect the other ones, but it's only for this channel, my rhythm channel. I can turn individual effects, up to 8 of them, on and off. Turn off the delay. I still have my phaser on. Little Van Halen there. I can keep the phaser off. Some straightforward crunch. Go back to my clean. Or I can turn, like I said, I can turn each one of the effects, up to 8 different ones on and off. Let's go back to my clean. In my chorus, and in my channel, the channel 1, I can have 8 different effects. So see, I just turned on the phaser. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, if you already have your ground control, you'll know how to go through some of the basic things to go ahead and edit. Now, if you already know how to do your device and channel and blah, 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 and all that other stuff, well, we're going to go through some of that later on. But for now, what it is, you go through your setup, and you need to use 2 hands. Okay. So we're going to go to, if you haven't set up your bank, how you do that, you go to your utility, and you'll bank down. And see, I have 4 preset and a bank. If you have it the other way, as you'll notice, it has 10 presets and a bank. So you go through each bank. If you guys understand, like one, you have like 10 banks, and then each one of them has 10 effects. I have mine set up so I only using these 4 buttons, and we change that by we go 4 presets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bank. So you got 1 bank, 2 banks, 3 banks, 4 banks, and each one of them has a different parameter. And you'll have it inside of there. Now you don't want to go that. So you go to yes. Okay, you guys have that basic. Now for instant access, okay, we're going to go say, okay, and you guys have probably already learned how to name your parameters. If not, when you go to your first channel, say you got your first channel, you got your channels to change in there, you go to edit, you press edit, just edit, and then you go and you name it. You press up and down on your bank, and then you can go to your, see I have mine named clean 1, and that's the first one. Okay, so anyway, back to how to change your, so we go back to your setup. Okay. Go to your instant access. Instant access. Now, mine's flashing right here because I already have it programmed. But if you haven't had it programmed, what you'll probably end up seeing is something like this: the GCX 1, and then you'll go up and down. You go 1, 2, 3. What that means is that you have your GCX controlling 8 different parameters. Each one you have 8 different ones if you want. Now you go past that sequence and you go down to channel 1. Okay, your first button on whatever channel you're on. Okay, so if you're on 1, okay, if you're on 1, then that's going to change the channel 1 for this one. If you're on channel 2 and it's channel 1, you're going to go to channel 1 on this one. 2, 3, 4. So for example, let's say for channel 1. Okay, we're going to go really simple. Channel 1. Go to our edit. Setup mode, instant access. Okay, and like I said, mine's flashing this one because I already. Yours will probably end up saying GCX, but once you go your plus or minus. You go like to 5, and then it'll start rotating through the menu. And so right now I'm transmitting. This is channel 1. This is Midi channel 1, the one that's flashing. You have 16 channels. This is channel 1. Okay, keep it on 1. You're making your life a lot easier. Okay, for the time being. Now I want to change this button. Now to do that, and I want to change the controller. Okay, I already have mine set. And you scroll over. You use your cursor to go right and left. Now mine happens to be on this particular, on my Rocktron, happens to be number 14. Now if we go to the 14 right here. I know we're going back and forth. I don't know if my camera can pick this up, but when you're on the program you want, see, I'm on my what I call over chorus, and I go to my function select within that parameter. What I'll be doing is going to controller assignment. Okay? So I'm on my first channel. This is my first channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, channel 8. It's on right here just because it's telling me I'm in instant access. Okay? You don't have to worry about that. But I'm on channel 1, Midi channel 1, and my controller is number 14. Your controller for your effect processor may be something different. Okay? But as you can see, controller 14 for me. Okay, I've changed. Let's see, let's go to my, and I'll pick. See, so controller like number 9 is my pitch shifting. 10 is my phaser. And then 11 happens to be a bypass, so I can turn whatever it is that's on or off. Number 12 for mine, for my particular effect unit, is a different input, and it's for active, or I can mute it. 13, okay, is my other chorus. Okay, I got 2 different ones. 14 it was my delay. So I have mine set for my delay. So number one, I can turn my delay on and off. Now I can set it, you go to your parameters, and you can set it for either in or out. Okay? And then so you go on and on and on. So for this particular one, on your particular, let me get this back up here. For your particular controller, I was going to slide down.